Ban this. The show. This is where I'm supposed to do the air quotes, not the title. Forget I did that. Here. Let me do this over again. Welcome to Ban This, the show where I don't edit ever and take a look at a film which could trigger some people, and they may call for it to be censored or at least have some good choice cuts in it for one reason or another. Today, I am looking at 1984's punk masterpiece, Repo Man. Now, one of the key things that is so offensive about this, and where I just said in the description piece, punk. Now, most people associate punk as, rebellion, going against the man, promoting bad behavior. Now, it's sort of a stretch, but it does have that aesthetic as a lot of other Alex Cox's films. Though this is actually his only film of his I've seen. I gotta check out Sid and Nancy yet. But that's been re-released on Criterion, so I'm gonna definitely get it. It'd be interesting to see that fabrication of real people. One of the key players of the punk scene. Anyways, I'm not talking about Sid and Nancy. I'm talking about this amazing movie. What's so bad about this hilarious, bizarre piece of art? Oh, wait. I already started saying it, but since I don't edit, I'm going to have to restate it since I started restating it anyways. And I can add another thing. So yes, it can promote bad behavior, going against authority, and it has anti-Christian themes. Now, those are kind of subtle, more in the background, but they are definitely there. Most of the film, you could almost say the main character is sort of reforming, since he was more or less a straight-up punk, but he gets suckered into being a repo man, somebody who works for the government. Now, the repo men, they're not perfect either, There's drug use, they'll smoke a joint, and I forget the character's name. All the characters are named after beers. I don't remember who's who except the main character is Otto. I think it might be Bud. Anyways, Harry Dean Stanton characters. He states that he doesn't know a single repo man that doesn't do speed. So, even these authority figures have a bit of corruption to them. And, it's not necessarily looked at in a positive light or negative, just neutral. It's there, which could be seen as a glorification either way, regardless. So that's about it for that. Promoting bad behavior, anti-Christian themes. Although, when the jabs at Christianity, it's more specifically of the tele-evangelical type that was, rising at this time of 1984. Which, is sort of a newer breed of Christianity, and some of the things that they preach, I don't necessarily agree with, but one of the biggest faults with any religion, and I'll include atheism in that, is that there's so many interpretations. It's very difficult to determine which is the true interpretation and which is not. But that's not really the subject of this. I gave my argument. Now I'll talk a little bit about my actual opinion of this movie. This film is hilarious and very offbeat. It's not necessarily weird, strange. It has some strangeness, but it's a rather offbeat film. And I just love it. The plot is kind of weird, disjointed. It kind of goes from one thing to another. There's only certain things that go from the beginning to the end, mainly dealing with the car. All the characters are looking for this car, and that's the basic tying thread from the beginning to the end. Otherwise, a lot of the elements do seem sort of random and just kind of throwing things out there. But that's the fun of the movie. It just goes all over the place. And it has some weird pseudo, philosophical stuff, which is lampshaded a little bit, and it just goes all over the place. It's just a fun movie. One of the most enjoyable movies I've ever seen. Even if it does make jabs at my faith, I can put up with that because I'm not a pussy. I can take criticism. I don't have to get offended at everything. That's the point of the series. Anyways, that's about it. I felt like I've talked enough. If you have an idea for a film you'd like me to take a look at, let me know in the comments below. And check me out on BitChute if you watch this on YouTube, because currently that's a more desirable platform for videos in my opinion. And check me out on mine for social media. And if you want to see a bunch of short reviews for myself and others, check out the Stardust app for Android devices. That's about it. I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.